Hey YouTube! Yeah, so this is my pal bot. Got caught on with the temu thing again. This wasn't me though. I didn't buy this. This is a cube baby. Don't know if you've ever heard of one of these. I hadn't. It's like a mini effects unit. 9 preamp selection slots, high quality phaser, chorus, delay, reverb, 8 electric guitar, cab, IR slots, preset live edit working models, 3 presets, USB audio, wireless audio input, mobile phone recording jack, built-in rechargeable battery. All sounds very fancy. I'm going to go straight up by not using it properly. Just so you know, because I would use things properly. Why would you want to use things properly? So basically I've just got it stuck straight into my... Oh, you can, not that amp, the one that's you can't see that's just there, the orange TH30. Into the clean channel. The first thing I noticed about this is, because I thought I'd burst my lead, was so the pedal is off just now. Well, if it's off, it doesn't let any sound through, so it's not true bypass. But when it's on, adjustments will be made. The volume control works. I'll probably get the amp up a bit loud actually. I was wondering why I was turning the amp up and thinking it doesn't sound right. So, it's now on. The volume control works, does come with a manual which I've actually had a look at so I can actually work out how to use this thing. So basically it does, this is more for your computer interface, I think, because of the IR settings, you know, the cab thing. So if you're plugging into a PA, or probably more likely, seeing as I don't know exactly how much this was. I think David said it was like 15 quid or something like that. Well, it's an awful lot of things for 15 quid. It's USB chargeable, which I really like, so there's no cables. It's just like, there you go, just that, and it's like modern rechargeable batteries are good, so it should be fine. As you know, I'm not really that much of a fan of effects as such, really, just side effects, you know. I mean, I took my pedal board. The gig went pretty well actually. On Thursday night, good fun. My effects board, which I could probably do a video of my Sabbath live gig, because I actually ended up having to use that amp because my car's knackered, and the big Marshall only fits in the Panda by, you know, it's like it just fits. So I've got to lift off Andy. Cheers, Andy. The self-proclaimed king of Sabbath himself. Gave me a lift and it just went in the back of his car doesn't open. He's got a car like mine. Was it a Volkswagen something? And his is only 2-door, mine's 4-door, but it's a slightly smaller car, but his boot doesn't open because his mum burst it apparently. So, but we did manage to get that amp in. All good. Yeah, and my effects board, I've got like I don't know if you see that, a DeWalt jigsaw case, like for a drill, or for a jigsaw. And basically all that's in it is... Oh no, I've now got a loop pedal in there so I can play like the sirens at the start of War Pigs, stuff like that. The coffin at the start of Sweet Leaf, those sort of things. I've got a few of those loops in it. A distortion pedal and a tuner. And then I put a wah-wah in there in case we ever play NIB, because NIB's got a wah-wah intro. So basically when I went in for a rehearsal the other night, I had to get the bus in, and all I took in with me was a bass on my back and the drill case, and it's got a crybaby wah in it, which reminds me why I bought the first digital stomp, but I should probably sell it actually, the digital stomp unit that I was using in the Sabbath band, which was just a wee bigger than that. That's not very big. There's my thumb for size wise. There's my thumb on it. Yeah. Big enough. There's enough room to stop in the pedals between them. Quite happy with that. Yeah, but my god, is a crybaby wah wah heavy. I used to have that in my gig bag in place in case we played NIB, and then I realised that basically what I needed in my set was a tuner, a fuzz pedal or a bass fuzz and a wah-wah for if we ever play NIB, and so I just bought the wee digital unit, considering it's got a wah-wah in it. I only use it for the intro to the song. It doesn't need to be a great wah-wah. It's got a proper bass fuzz with a a wet and a dry signal on it and a tuner. So everything fitted in a wee thing, weighed that, ran off AA batteries and weighed nothing. It was fine. I just felt a wee bit guilty using it because it's not exactly high tech stuff, mind you. My plan was to take the big expensive amp. I did play a gig last night with a £30 amp, which doesn't seem right, but it did the job. It's enough. I'm just thankful that. So this has not really turned into much of a pedal review. Yeah. Anyway, so let's turn it on and see what happens. I'm going to be very careful of that volume control, because I think all of these are very loud. So these are just the presets that came preloaded into it. This is brand new, so what I'm expecting here is all of the effects to be on, so you can hear them really quite well. Like the old, what's the point in putting a little subtle bit of phaser on it? On a preset, people want to press it and go, oh, listen to all the things on. So these will be 3 variations of everything on, I would imagine. Everything on full bung. So I'm going to cheat and turn the volume down before I turn it on. So there's the green bank. Oh, there's no mod on in this one. Right, so there's a bit of noise. Oh, a Black Sabbath cover. Anyone recognise the tune? Just do that for 3 minutes and... That being a song, the only song on the first, it's the only song I skip on the Black Sabbath albums, is FX, which is on just before Super, not on volume 4. You'll know that, and it basically just does that stupid, Tony's got some sort of echo pedal, just goes click, ding, ding, ding. It's crap and I hate it. It ruins the album for me. That's why volume 4 is not the best Black Sabbath album, because it's got that on it. All the other wee instrumental bits I like, some of the wee silly ones, the what's it, don't actually know how to play it. Da da da. All the wee funny instrumental bits are always great, but that one, no. I love the wee Spanish guitar stuff. Yeah, so I mean that sound is it's the standard effects pedal thing. That's when I was joining. Trying to join bands, 20 years ago. Everyone had one of these Korg things, and that was the sound they had. Oh, have you got phaser on it? Yeah, all the phaser. Oh, have you got delay on it? Yeah, all the delay. Distortion, all the distortion. Just have everything on. Make it sound. Don't know. It's pretty much unusable for me. Maybe some people might be thinking this is the best it's ever sounded. Right, well, try the second one, the blue one. So this doesn't. That wee blue flashing light is for Bluetooth connectivity. I don't think, though, you can plug, like my wireless Bluetooth thing into it. I think it's more for playing backing tracks from your phone. But if you hold these two down together for 2 seconds, it turns it off. It stops. It's not. I think it's a solid blue light when you've connected, and it just flashes blue when it's trying to do it. Oh, they like their delay, don't they? Put that somewhere where I'm not going to bang it. The problem I've got with long delays like that is I tend to try and play off them and do that thing that those guitar solos that Brian May always does. That I hate the ones that go. They go. Two. That's before you get loop pedals. And the last one is oh, this one's got the mod light is on. I think the light's on when it's on. Oh, there's your clean. That's so in the 80s this was clean. That sounds just like an acoustic. Not that bad. I mean, as far as these sounds go, it's not the quality of the sound that's putting me off on this sort of stuff. It's just I don't like all that echoey shit. Right, fun time. So if you hold these two down together for 2 seconds, bang, it goes into tuner mode. Which, alright, there, so there, that's the, if you look above it, it says A above it, and then there's the red light, so. I think that, that probably means it's more accurate than the tuner I'm using over there. Aye, the temperature's going a wee bit. Just doing this to demonstrate the tuner, not because my guitar was out of tune. Flat. Yeah, then it's me hold it down. Here, off. I turned off the whole thing, right? Does it sound better? It does sound much better when the guitar's in tune. It's just because maybe I think it's just lack of familiarity with these extra sounds. But what I think I would recommend this pedal for, I mean, it's 15 quid, right? So what if you were thinking, oh, I'd maybe quite like a try of some of these sounds. I'd like to have, I mean, okay, it's got a and even I can start reading shit out of this, can't I? Aye. So we've got the IR cab, which is your it's like a cabinet simulator for direct recording. I know from recording on an ADAT, the best way I could get a sound, you can't plug a guitar straight into a recording console. It needs to be a guitar amp. Doesn't do that. It's not the same as a PA or like an amplifier. And a guitar amplifier doesn't amplify the sound coming out the guitar. It amplifies the sound coming out the guitar and adds a lot of its own characteristics. That's why when you plug straight into a PA, it's like, or we've all people of my age have all plugged. They've all realised that some of your old hi-fis have a microphone input on the front, that one there, and you can plug it in there. The guitar plugs in there and it does work, but the sound is not. You don't want to be plugging a guitar into a hi-fi. It needs like the speakers in an amp compress and distort and take away the high end and the low end and push the mids and do all this EQ stuff to make it sound like. Basically that's what this does, what the IR cab does. So if with this, using the IR cab, I probably could plug it into the microphone input on my hi-fi or my computer, or my phone, or my laptop, whatever it is, and it'll give it a signal that sounds like a guitar amp. So I don't really use that because I'm actually using a real guitar amp. But invaluable for recording. A lot of these your wee mini 4-tracky things have some sort of speaker simulator in them anyway. Back in the old days they didn't. The real man's 4-track, which is, I remember Pal, the ultimate one, it was you got all these fancy ones. I remember fancy ones when mechanised transport. His was as simple as you get. I think you had a gain and a pan and a volume for the 4 tracks. That was it, and a tape recorder with record, rewind, and it's just like that's it. No EQ, no effects, no auxiliaries, nothing like that. So basically what we did when we were recording with that, got some amazing results, was you would just play a wee bit and then listen back to it, see if it sounded good, and then adjust what you were putting into it. But again, that was the thing about having to mic up an amp or use a distortion pedal, or so you'd basically almost be doing the mixing before you recorded anything. Then obviously you can change the volume and pan it, but it's basically what you can do with it. So if you hold down these two, just click the two of them together. Nope. How did you do it? Did you hold it down for 1 second? Nope. This is why I left the manual out. I can't remember how to do this. How does it tell you how to do it? I'm sure I read it really quickly. Tuner, IR carb, reverb, delay. There was definitely a thing that said something about live sound. Oh yeah, it tells you there what these presets are. So the A one. Oh, okay. I'm in preset mode then. Aye, so that's basically how preset mode works. I could talk through that if I'm not in preset mode, which is that. It doesn't seem to. I see. Now we're on that. So this is a Wostone Coral OD plus delay plus reverb plus VHT Deliverance 212. This one is oh, sorry, I ran out of hard disk space. This mic seems to be crap. I don't know what it is I've done. That low cut thing didn't seem to do anything. It seems to, I don't know. Maybe my vocal quality's not that good. I really need to get some sort of monitoring, as in headphones. So I was just talking there about the presets. Fuck them. I'll just stitch this together in the editor later. So I'm not sure whether, did I mention the fact that the IR cab is for plugging into a hi-fi? I don't know. Or plugging into your computer or something like that for recording. So let's have a wee look at, see what we're doing here. So basically I'm kind of, if you do that, you press there because that says on it, reverb, in cab, IR cab and reverb. So there's your IR cabs actually, but reverb. And I remember looking for a reverb pedal going into guitar. This is a couple of years ago, thinking, I keep seeing all these pedals on, eBay for 20 quid and stuff like that. I'll get a reverb pedal, a wee cheap one. And the guy's like that, yeah, I've got reverb pedals, I'll get plenty of them, no problem at all, got the lot. I'm probably just looking for the cheapest one. He's like, oh, okay, then I'll look at the cheapest one. I mean, there's a really good second-hand one there, that's a really good buy. Like, all right, okay, that looks a bit fancy. How much is that? 120 quid for a second-hand one. All right, no, I was like, one much cheaper than that. Is that, well, the cheapest one we actually do is 90. They're like, 90 quid for it? No, so I didn't buy one. It's just not wanting to. Come on, accept that it's there. It's focus. No focus, unless it's my eyes. I don't think so though. Focus my finger. Anyway, so you've got a reverb. If your amp doesn't have reverb, 15 quid gets you reverb. Let's have a listen to the IR cab, which I don't think is good. I think an awful lot more use going into a PA or into something not a guitar amp, but just different sounds. Were you having that with me? I like the way the light comes on when it's off. No, the light comes on when it's on, so if you turn the volume down to nothing, or whatever the knob is, it just goes off. Wink an eye. I think you've got to but knob twiddler's delight, totally. I mean, this is the sort of thing I think you could basically, you're meant to be able to plug the phone into it to play backing tracks, but I'm pretty sure you could actually probably feed it back into the phone or whatever, listen to it in headphones. Yep, so I'll turn them off anyway, just and see what the next things are. So we've got delay, which is all off, and you get right, it's on. Never really used delay myself. You might be able to get a sort of slap back on it. Mod? Oh, there's your phaser. Or is it chorus? Oh, I think it might be both. Maybe I think the first half of that's chorus. And then the second half, that's more of a phaser. Well, mix turns it off, and that's off. And then the last one is oh, that's still on. The last one is your gain stage. So you get tone, gain, and type. The types are written out here. I'm sure it'll probably be clean onwards. It'll be off fenders and stuff. And you've got a tone again. So type 2. I think a wee bit of chorus on there. That must just lock them in. Oh, you can turn them on individually, of course you can. You don't have it turned on, but you can turn it on. See, I'm not even sure you'd really need the presetty thing when you've got the 3. So basically you've got different types of... So if I turn that off, here's the amp with reverb. There's my distortion pedal. More of a distortion pedal when you got into the more heavy metal amps. much more effective if you could actually see what I was setting these things at, but if it would actually zoom in on. No, there you go, you can actually see what it's doing now. Yeah, so, I mean, I'm not a knob twiddler. I don't want to just sit here and talk about this all day, which I very clearly probably could. I think if you're in, imagine, I don't know, if you're, I mean, I think it's actually got a headphone socket. It's actually just got a headphone socket straight on it. So if you're the old hotel room type thing, got to kill a couple hours, just sit with that, put your headphones in it, and then you can mess about with it. I'm sure with use, you would get much better at using this thing. I think it's the same thing with all these. I mean, I'm notoriously bad with any sort of multi-effects unit. This one, without its menus and stuff, is actually quite simple, and I can kind of work it. I've not really worked out how the chorus works. I don't know if the time and the feedback work do anything with the chorus. So there's the chorus. Yeah, I think what it is, I think the chorus and the flanger are basically 0 to 12 o'clock is different versions of the chorus, and then 12 o'clock to right the way around. 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock is the flanger. The Facebook and I think the mix might actually do something with it as well. Oh, the mix appears to be connected to those two, doesn't it? So that must just be a delay thing. I don't know. But I mean, to be honest, it's 15 quid. And it's one of those things, I mean, I went through this sort of stage when I went for buying pedals. The first pedal actually, but I had a rat pedal, but that doesn't count. Was a flat phaser. Just because it was like a tenner, I thought, I wonder what a phaser does. I mean, okay, you can look up videos of someone like me demonstrating what a phaser is, but I like the idea, what does it actually feel like to actually plug a phaser into your amp and you play it and see what you think? And it's like, it gives you, I mean, the thing is, okay, I doubt the phaser and the chorus and all the distortions as good as like £100 standalone pedal that just does, phaser, but it's there and it gives you a feeling, what it is. You go up here, that, I love that. I just love chorus. Chorus is my favourite thing. It's like, well, buy yourself, then go and get yourself a £100 chorus pedal and you'll enjoy it and you know that you like it. Whereas I know, looking at these sort of things, because I've kind of done this, it's like, delay. I mean, they're great, it's great, I can't be bothered sitting fidgeting with it. In some ways this is much better than actually having a delay. I mean, I've had a shot of one of those, the Strymon, I can't even remember whether it was a delay or a reverb, but it was just, there was so many options. It was just like, it was totally, I mean, reverb, I can handle having just like how much reverb do you want. That's fine. I mean, even my wee Shimverb pedal has like 3 different versions of reverb and a colour dial and all that, and it's like, can I just have like, just a reverb knob's fine. I suppose they're all quite simple and just tone gain, and I don't know, it seems to do kind of everything. For some kids, it's just bought, get your first Harley Benton, or be a bit more sensible and get a better guitar, like, I don't know, like Squire Sonic or whatever it is. Something like that and headphones for Christmas, and then play around with that for a wee while, and you can probably plug it into something, I mean, it's like, because it's got that, the cab simulator thing on it, you could probably stick it into like a Bluetooth speaker or into something like that, some sort of whatever people have now instead of a hi-fi. And then if after Christmas, when you get the Christmas money, you buy yourself an amp and you get yourself, I don't know, a Katana or something, but I suppose it's a similar sort of principle to that kind of thing. Or if you're stuck with, I mean, I don't think it really happens as much these days, but I mean, my first amp didn't have distortion on it. It was a Badger, and it had like volume and tone, a wee 10 watt thing, and it was just, Little Malcolm needed distortion of some description, so I played that for a few months and then bought an amp that had a distortion switch. I didn't really, I just wanted distortion. Well, it sounded like Black Sabbath. I didn't really want any of the other effects. Again, I think it depends on what it is you like. Most of the music I like is from the 60s and 70s, so things like chorus and phasers and flat don't generally tend to be in it. They didn't exist at that time, or if they did, they were very specifically used. I tend to hear, I was just so conditioned from when I was buying records. I'd buy records for all these bands, I'd just see them, and if I bought anything from the 80s, I would just hear, when did I do it? Press that. I just heard that all the time and everything. It's just like, no, that's a preset. And I'm sure you can work out your own presets. Oh, what's that? Is that for 12 still? Oh no, it's not here yet. No. Sorry, my wee bit. I told David I was doing it. I'm doing a review of that pedal before you come round so you can get it back. But then again, is it just one of those things that's dead handy having a toolbox? I mean, it's tiny. I mean, I don't even have a big phone. I've just got like a crappy phone, but there, it's the same size, it's smaller than my phone. Yeah, sorry, not a crappy phone, an awesome phone my pal Cameron gave me. Cheers. Not many cars lying about, Cameron, do? And I'm playing the Kraken because it's ain't got no guitars that sit. You can play sitting like this. Like it's literally just balancing perfectly on my leg. This was actually built for me though. Jen's got the prototype, the first prototype. This is a prototype as well, but hers is built for a woman. So this bit is designed to go not on this guitar, kind of between your boobs sort of thing, and therefore it kind of sits funny. And whereas this is built for a bulky dude like myself. We're done now, yeah. Go for the most brutal metal I can manage. Oh, you got to try everything up, all the dials up at full, don't you? That's pretty good, actually. I actually had a shot of this last week. Couldn't be bothered doing a video, I didn't like it. But see, when you actually sit down just for, okay, I've been at this for half an hour. There's things in there that's, if you're of the mind, if you're after something specific, and I think the days of, you can pick up old effects units pretty easily. I'd imagine this is probably better than like your old Zooms and stuff like that. The ones from 20 years ago, probably very similar technology. It's just unbelievable they can do that for 15 quid. It's even metal. It doesn't feel cheap. It's got LEDs. It's got a tuner in it. You know what I mean? How much does a tuner cost? I paid £65 for my Arion stage tuner in about 1998 or something like that. So it used to cost 65 quid for a pedal tuner, and it was shit. Well, it wasn't shit. It wasn't exactly advanced. It did automatically sense which string you were doing. Oh, you know what I mean? It's just in it. And then again, it's like 15 quid for tuner and reverb, and then all these other bonus features. It's a win-win, really. The only thing where this is not really any use is if you've got all these things anyway. And why would you use, the distortion in this when I've got 5 distortion pedals sitting there? But every one of them costs more than that. No, sorry. My rat pedal costs £1.82, £1.87. But apart from that, worth having a look at. rock on. So what was it say it was? It was a Cube Baby, and it came with a lead to plug into your phone, like a USB to, it looks like, what's more than stereo? Trio? Must have a video signal in it. A TRRS. And then there's your charging, just charges USB, and that's it. And then you don't have to worry about batteries, you don't need to get a power supply for it. It's got all the effects on it. You know, I mean, are the days turning up when you can be turning up to a gig with guitar in your back, that in your pocket? Well, you can. You could turn up to that in your pocket, whether you can actually use it or not. But the tuners obviously works. Okay, you can get a better tuner. It's not going to make it more in tune. Maybe easier to use or something like that. But yeah, so rock on. And I'm sorry this video ended up so long. I just basically had to try and work out whether worth it. But I mean, I would kind of recommend it for 15 quid. And you want, I think there's. I know maybe most people don't do this, but my idea would be I would have bought this if I'd seen this, 10 years ago, just for the fact that it's got reverb on it, and things like chorus and delay and stuff, which I've heard of, but not really 100% sure what they are, or what they were at the time, and the IR cab, for recording. Win-win. Rock on!